Well, hello, everybody.
See, I've done that one. I've done the southern accent.
Oh,
I acted like I
you're
wasn't
going
paying
through
attention.
all of the cold
I've done-
opens
yeah,
you've
yeah,
done.
list of awkward show
You
openings.
do not. You actually have a list. Do you really have a list?
I mean, a little one. A little list. A little list.
Okay.
Most,
I love that.
I would say 90% of them are truly in the moment, and you can tell because they're not that funny.
No, they're always
but
great.
there are some,
I
like,
always look forward to it.
on the way here, like some will hit me, or like at 2 in the morning.
Cold. I gotta write that down.
Last night I'm saying, what do I label that? I've never labeled it. What do I? Well, awkward openings. It's kind of awkward.
I think take awkward out and then it's perfect.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Yes, hello everyone. Welcome. It's been like 2 weeks since we've recorded. So it feels really surreal to be back at it in front of these hats, in front of you guys.
It's kind of funny because I've missed you a lot, and we talk a lot, text a lot, almost every day, and all those things. And with the trip, Bree was overseas, and I didn't want to bother you on your honeymoon or anything, so we haven't been talking as much.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because we could probably sit here for another 2 hours and just ramble without the cameras or anything like that. We got talking, and we thought, well, a lot of our pod has been including you guys in our lives and the things that we're up to and everything. So let's go ahead and split the atom a little bit here and kind of combine the two a little bit. So I've missed you, and it's really good to see you.
I've missed you too.
I didn't get to say this right away. I love your hair. Man,
it
it looks cool.
That's right.
It looks good.
I haven't seen you since I dyed my hair.
Yeah, it looks good.
How'd you like it? Yeah, haven't done something with my hair in a while, so I thought, why not before the trip?
I like it. It looks really good.
Thank you. I like your haircut.
Thank you.
I thought when you came in, I was like, oh, his hair is shorter. It looks nice.
I got a couple inches taken off. I had to.
Yeah.
It was just getting kind of ratty and big and all that. And people that actually know what they're talking about, like the thinning it or something, they did a nice job with that. I actually had my beard done. And I've never had a beard.
Style?
Yeah.
Cool.
Really a young up and coming business, and a great lady who did it, and she did a really nice job. Local business is what I was trying to say.
Oh, we love that.
I was thinking of it because I've never had a beard this long, and I've never had somebody trim it before. I'm not very ticklish. When she got up here, it was very ticklish. It was very ticklish. It was funny. But it was
That's not what I was expecting to hear.
No, it was a great experience.
Did you giggle in front of her?
A little bit. There was a little of that, and it's so hard to. It was a new person doing my hair too, so that was interesting.
So that's your guys' first story.
Yeah, it was fun. And I've never had a hot towel. And she was bragging about how great hot towels are.
Yeah.
She just put one on me. Do yourself a favor. Get a hot towel. Oh my God, was that relaxing.
Ooh.
Man, I almost fell asleep in that chair.
Really?
Yeah, it was
and
great.
You are not a sleeper.
No.
So that's
it was very relaxing. It was very comfortable.
Ooh, wow.
I was hesitating on the name because I didn't want to get it wrong. Relax, Refresh, and Reconnect, I think. Great local business. We will get it right. I will send it to you. We'll get it on there because I like to shout out local businesses whenever we can.
Support local.
Yes. That was fun. But you were overseas. You went over to the Netherlands.
I did,
I come in today, and Bree is telling me, look, we might have to figure out a way to do this overseas. But you had a really good experience, you and
I did, yeah. We loved it there. I loved it there so much. And I have a friend who lives there, and for years she's been telling me, like, you need to come here. You'll love it. You just belong here. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, I've always had an interest about it. Who wouldn't? It's the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And then I get there, and as soon as I step off the bus and onto that little brick street, I feel it. I really do. It was just such a beautiful experience. I'm so glad to have had it. And on that kind of like a deeper level, it was really cool to be in a country where driving isn't like necessary. It's not normal-ish. So that made me feel like, oh, I kind of belong here. Yeah. But we despite my bike shirt, my Amsterdam bike shirt, we did not bike there because holy buckets, do they bike so fast. So fast, it's crazy, and I admire it so much. We were like, maybe next time. We don't want to get in their way. But it was just an amazing time.
You had also, So you and I had some interesting things happen over the past week that are very parallel and very similar. I find it really cool, and this happens to us a lot, but not like this necessarily.
Yeah.
You first off, that feeling you felt, I felt the same way when I went to California the first time.
Really?
I literally got off the plane, feet on the tarmac, and I'm like, oh, and I just felt something.
Yeah, right. It's like a little spark ignites in you or something.
I felt connected to the earth. I felt like connected. I felt very like, oh, this is, and my mom was born out there, and I don't know if that was part of it or whatever, or I just, because I'd never spent a foot in California before, but it felt really surreal, and it did the next time, and the next time I went out there too, I still got that same feeling. Something about that, you know?
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, definitely. I felt that right away as soon as you said it. It was really cool. I almost like got brought back to my own moment with that.
That's so cool.
I discovered some stuff about myself that I didn't know over the last week. You found out something about yourself being over there. That is pretty cool.
We were talking a little in our pregame, and I was explaining that I am not one to boast about myself or anything, but I did a good job navigating in a different country, and I was proud of myself.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. That's awesome. That's no, I just did this. Like, no, that's pretty cool. That's not easy. I know people that have a tough time doing that in like a town over. You know, like that's a whole other country, different language and everything. That's impressive.
Yeah, thank you. My husband and I make a good team. He downloaded a few maps on his phone because I call him cartographer because he's just really good with maps, and I'm directionally challenged. But I'm the one who talks to the people, and then he's the one who says, right here. So we made a good team. We rode on a tram for the first time, and we took a few train rides and bus rides, and we really loved the tram. That was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
I do have one story. I don't want to like go too far
into
it, but I like sharing with you guys. I have one story that's like, we will never forget it because it was so absurd. So we had a credit card over there just because it was easier, and we didn't have any euros on us at the time, and it was a Visa card. This is important. So we go to this coffee shop. If you're on TikTok, you might have seen it before. It's called The Bookstore in The Hague. It's pretty popular. It's a really cute shop. So we get there early in the morning, and it's not busy, and we give the barista our coffee order, and we go to pay, and she says, oh, is that Visa? We don't accept Visa. And we're like, oh, okay, that's totally fine. Like, we'll just like be going then. And she was like, no, like you already gave me your order. Why don't you stay? And when you're done, there's an ATM like 7-minute walk. Come back. Okay, that is super nice.
Cool.
And sidebar, people are so nice there. It's insane. People are so nice there.
That's great.
I loved it. So we enjoy our coffee, and we're like, okay, time for like a little 7-minute walk, and then we'll get on with our day because we had a little itinerary. So we get to the ATM, and the card won't work at the ATM. So we're like, okay, what do we do? And we needed a PIN for the card, but the card didn't have a PIN. Because of this particular credit card doesn't have a PIN.
I've run into that before.
Yeah, so we needed to get a hold of Matt's parents, but it's 8 a.m. Amsterdam time. It's 3 a.m. back home.
Oh, no.
So we have to call them. And Jean, I know you're watching, so bless your heart. You were so sweet. So we get a hold of them, and then she tells us that the card doesn't have a PIN, but we should be able to go to any bank, or this is what the credit card person told her, that we could go to any bank and we could withdraw money. So we're like, okay, next step, we will find a bank. So we walk quite a bit to a few different banks until we find one that's open. We go inside and we kind of explain our situation, and the bank teller says, I'm sorry, but none of the banks in this area has actual money in it. You have to use the ATM outside. And we go, oh, okay, so what now? She's like, you should go to the currency exchange. And we say, okay, I guess we'll do that. And I, that morning, had taken my wallet out of my backpack I was traveling with because I didn't think I was going to need it that day because Matt had the credit card. And I had US bills in that wallet. So we walk all the way to the exchange, and we wait in line, and then we find out that they don't take Visa either.
Oh my gosh.
And I say, oh, I have money in my backpack. Oh, I took it out this morning. And Matt says it's okay. You stay here, and he took the tram back to our hotel, came back to the currency exchange. We finally exchanged money. We walk all the way back to that coffee shop. This is 3 hours.
Oh.
This is 3 hours.
Ah.
And the coffee and like the treats we got was $14.18 for 3 hours.
Jeez.
And we spent more exchanging our currency
I
at the
bet.
currency exchange. It was $16 fee. So we finally get there. Most of our day is like gone to this ridiculous bed, and the whole time it's like hot. It's like the one hot day, and we're just like sweating, and we're like, we should have said no. We should have said no, thank you. So we keep going, and we finally get there, and I lock eyes with the barista, and it's very busy now. And she's just like, you can tell my coworker like how much it was, and you know, I thought it was gonna be this grand thing, like, oh, you can eat that.
Yeah.
But no.
No.
No. And I like gave the money to the other barista, and she thanked me for coming back. And I was like, you know what? That was worth it.
Yeah.
To get that thank you.
Oh.
But oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
So that attests a little bit to like who we are, I guess.
Yes.
That we took 3 hours to do that.
So you guys, and a shout out again to Matt's mom and dad, the great people, some of the best people you're going to meet are those Hoyts. They're great people. You are one of the better people I know. None of this surprises me, and I think it's great that you did all that. If I was in that position, I probably would have done the same exact thing that you guys did, but I'd have been doing it with the whole like goal of I'm not going to let them have this idea, like this memory of this strange American that came in and like just took off without paying.
Right,
I wouldn't be able to
like,
live
I
with
can't
that.
do that.
Yeah.
I was like, they'll know, they'll be mad at me, and I can't sleep if
wouldn't be able
someone's
to
mad
do
at
it.
me.
Yeah, wouldn't be able to do it. I
So,
hear you. That's
after that, we had a wonderful day after that, but I'll never forget that total $14.18.
That's gonna stay with you. That's gonna stay with you. Like the next time you have something come up that's $14, there's gonna have
Right.
Just get up and start walking. Just
For 3 hours, and then I'll come back.
come back.
But yeah, that was my little story from the trip.
One last thing I do want about this trip, Bria, and I am cheating here a little bit. Bria told me that you had a phrase that you memorized for the trip that you didn't get to use. I want to put you on the spot, and I want to hear this phrase.
Oh no.
You don't really have to do it, but I do want. I kind of want it.
Okay, so I did Duolingo for like a really long time before this trip, and then come to find out from my friend who lives there that it's not very good at conversational Dutch. It's pretty broken.
Oh, okay.
So I can't pronounce the word really well, but I had 2 phrases. Well, one of them was what was it? It was like ik spreek Engels. I speak English.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
What?
I know every time we got done talking to someone, Matt was like, "Why didn't you say the thing?" I was like, when I'm like face to face with them, I don't know. I don't want to. I could barely say it, so I didn't want to.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the other one was ik wilt coffee. And I want coffee.
Of course.
And I told this to my friend Anna, who we visited on the trip, and she was like, "That's a demand." And then she told me how you say it, like, "I would like some coffee." I was like, I stand by equal coffee.
I think it works either way.
And please is alsjeblieft. So
Alsjeblieft.
yeah, I did use that when we were over there. Yeah.
I like that. Alsjeblieft.
Yeah, it sounds.
It's a beautiful language.
It really is.
Really, it's a really beautiful language.
Matt and I said we're really gonna miss just hearing the background of Dutch.
Oh yeah,
I loved hearing it. And when we were in Amsterdam, there were so many cultures there. It was crazy. Like a lot of different languages. Dutch, French, Spanish, there's a lot.
Yeah.
I can't name them all.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys
sharing.
for listening to my rambles.
Oh, I think we all wanted to hear it. We all wanted to hear it.
Oh, and thank you to everybody who I saw a few of our Muppety friends tune into my stories on my personal page when we were away, so that was really sweet. Tell us about your big win.
Oh, we need to get the show going.
No,
we need to get the show
Mr.
rolling.
Award over here. Tell us. Go on, Ruby, tell us.
One of us. our radio station was nominated for, they have the Wisconsin Broadcast Association Awards, and we got nominated for 9 nominations. Our
my
station was
gosh.
nominated more than anybody else, and
Oh, look at you guys.
we were really proud of it.
WFHR.
We're a small team,
Mhm.
and the fact that we were able to pull this off was already an accomplishment. And just getting the nominations in was a big
Yeah.
process, to be honest with you. I already felt like that was a pretty big win, and it's something that our station, WFHR, has been around for over 80 years, and we used to be a part of the WBAs a lot, but it costs money to submit, and the people that had owned us previously, 2 ownerships ago, didn't put money into us. And if I'm being honest, I don't have a lot of respect for the company, and some of the people in it, so, I'm not, I'm gonna be nice and just keep moving. But, with that, it's been a long time since we've represented at the WBAs or anything like that. So just getting the submissions in felt really good.
Yeah.
Then we found out that, we were in this, hey, WFHR has been this, and this category. And we thought, oh, cool, we're in the running for this award and stuff. Well, we found out a couple days later, no, we were finalists. So our station, in all 9 categories, at the very least, looking at this like a sports nerd that I am, we're on the Olympic stand. We at least got a bronze. We at least got a bronze out of it, and that felt really cool. The award ceremony was over this past weekend in Madison, and
Oh, I didn't realize it was in Madison.
yeah,
That's cool.
I had planned to go, and then last week, some things came up with the family, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to do this. And then talking to my folks and working it out with our team that I am gonna go. So it was kinda like this back and forth thing. And then we show up, and it was a little, I like to take this whenever I can on the air, so I'll do it here too. I'm not really comfortable sharing certain things about myself, but it's important too, because there's other people dealing with stuff too. And out of the pandemic, a lot of people have a hard time being in big groups of people.
Yeah.
And in
I
public
feel
and
that.
stuff. I've never felt anything like that, but during the pandemic and after, I've reported on these stories and talked about this and even talked with some people about it. I didn't realize that I'd been dealing with that.
Wow.
And going to the ceremony and everything, there's 200, 300 some people and everything. It was a bit, and it was a lot of bandwidth. I felt very a lot of that, and I'd never dealt with that before. So I'm from the city. I mean,
Right,
I'm from Chicago. I'm used to that. If anything, I'm more comfortable with that.
Right.
That was a little taking some used to, but
Sounds like it.
we got talking and Melissa and Seth and I, and then we got talking with the rest of the Civic Media members, our company, Civic Media, shout out Civic. And we've got such a cool group of people we work with. And getting to meet some people that you've only seen over Zoom and talking to face to them and everything, that started to loosen me up a little bit. We met at one hotel and walked over to the one that was right next door. The walk over, the theme for the WBAs this year was vintage.
Oh, cool.
And I was very nervous about dressing right, like, oh God, I don't have a vintage, outfit or anything, and what I was gonna rent wasn't able to, and all this.
Oh.
I show up and everybody's kind of dressed similarly, and so that felt good.
Oh,
and if
good.
anything, I felt almost overdressed.
I saw your suit. You looked snappy and
Thank
good
you,
face.
thank you. It's the only time I do look good. It is in a suit. They're like,
Please.
put me in a suit. I clean up all right, but otherwise,
You look good now.
thank you. We walked over, and something about the walk over that felt very relaxing to me, and I just went in, and everything seemed to start rolling a little bit better.
Nice.
We, Melissa, shout out to Melissa Kay, our head of news and my co-host on the morning show and everything. Melissa's amazing, and one of Melissa's segments in the show, in the morning show, is The Kitchen's Open. That won early on, like the second
like that
award.
name.
Yeah, it's a good name, and she won right away, so that just felt great.
Wow, yeah.
And the rest of the team would tell you the same thing, but we all, like a show like that, Melissa writes it, directs it, produces it. Seth and I act on it. So while we're a part of it, it's really Melissa's thing.
Sure.
Seth Face the Music. He uses us for commercials or things like that, but it's really his show. Director's Cut a little similar. He's a huge part of Director's Cut, but
Yeah, that was kind of your passion project.
Yeah, he kind of pushes it on at me a little bit more
Yeah.
and stuff. But I would tell you that it's really the two of us. But we won for Melissa's. The morning show came in third, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, that's all right and stuff. But
Yeah.
you start getting this little bit of a taste and
You-
stuff.
right,
This,
yeah,
this whole
I
winning
want some
thing.
more.
I won an award for my one of my short stories in 8th grade. I think it was 7th or 8th grade.
Mhm.
I have never won anything since, and that's fine. I
Yeah.
don't, I just don't think about awards. I vote on awards.
That's
I don't,
true. Yeah.
I get the humbled honor of voting on some awards. I don't
Awards don't come up
necessarily.
super often when you're an adult.
Not really, no. And
Yeah.
honestly, it's not something I've ever put a lot of stock into or emotions into.
Yeah.
Because I am a nerd and I am a kid that since I was 7 have wanted to be an actor, a professional actor.
Yeah.
I have in my head a little bit of a speech,
Oh, of course you do.
but
yeah.
but that's the closest, and I haven't thought about it since I was a kid. So we're in this moment, and we're up for a best interview with our interview with Mary Jo Peel from Mystery Science Theater.
I thought so, yeah.
And she's up there, the lady doing a great job emceeing, and she announces this and says the people that are nominated with it. One of the people nominated is this great guy, Chad Holmes, who also works at Civic Media. And I had met Chad, he's sitting across from us, great guy, very good at what he does.
Oh, that's awesome.
She could have said in that moment, she didn't, but if she had said in that moment, okay, and whoever wants the award, fight to the death, I'd have pounced over the table onto this poor man
Bye-bye, Chad.
and destroyed him.
Destroyed him.
I'd have, in that moment, I wanted that award so
Yeah.
bad. And as quickly as I felt that, like a tenth of a second later, I'm feeling guilty and horribly
Like,
bad. Like,
what?
what is wrong with me? I've never felt this way before.
Right.
What is wrong?
I gotta reel it in.
I gotta let that go and stuff. And then of course we win. So
Oh,
I'm walking up
yeah.
there, and I don't. You could, if you just look closely enough, you can see a little guilt. Little guilt.
Just a little bit of guilt.
It was great. Seth won for his the fantastic commercial for Seth Faces Music.
Mhm.
So we ended up kind of all, well, our
Oh.
station is the big winner, Civic
Yeah.
Media is the true winner. Each one of us kind of got
You did.
a bit of a win
Your
there.
moment.
So
yeah.
I discovered something about myself in that moment, like you did about
You like to win.
Apparently, I was so proud of us being able to be represented.
Mhm.
We, like a lot of people out there in a lot of industries, work tirelessly and work very hard at their job and wear multiple hats.
Mhm.
And probably, I don't think we get the due that we deserve, and oftentimes in life. That's a lot of people that can say
Yeah.
that. I am not at all saying that we're alone in that regard.
Mhm.
It was a moment where I'm sitting there, and it probably hasn't been since your wedding, that I had a moment where I was watching Melissa go up and get her award, Seth go up and get his award, seeing the Civic Media team among all these others, and having people come over to our table and saying, hey, you guys at Civic, I like what you're doing. We had that happen a couple times.
Yeah.
That was the victory. Like,
That's
that was
so
the true win.
awesome.
And
yeah, to hear that feedback and encouragement.
so I know that we haven't gotten to the Muppet part of the show yet, but I think it was important to talk about these things
Yeah.
because we want everybody out there to think about something in your life, in your day-to-day, whether it's happened this past week, this past month, or year, that you kind of, the moment happened, but did you really take it in?
Ooh, yeah.
Did you really take the win?
Mhm.
We don't take the wins enough in life.
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
not everything's gotta be the Super Bowl or winning an Oscar or something like
Yeah.
that. Like, you get these little wins, you get all green lights or something like
Mhm.
that, or you get overseas and you find out that, hey, actually, I can take charge a little bit. I can, direct a little in these things.
Yeah.
Any of this stuff, take the wins.
Yeah.
It's
I like
important
that.
to do that. And I think a big part of our show is about enjoying being in the moment, enjoying life. That's another part of it, another part of those moments. Being in the
Yeah.
moment is also being in the moment and appreciate, man, this feels good. I'm gonna let myself feel good for a moment.
Yeah.
There's a billion times in life where that voice in our head is our worst enemy.
Mhm.
Take the wins where you can, and
Yeah, I
hey,
like
that
that a
voice is
lot.
actually working with us this time, and
Right.
it feels good to win and stuff. And I think it's important to do that.
I like
I've
that.
rambled.
I've rambled.
I've rambled. I caught it.
We're
I caught
both
it way too
ramblers.
late. I caught it way too late.
No, that was a really sweet message, and I'm proud of all you guys.
Mm,
You guys deserve
Thank
those
you.
awards.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
And
thank you for sharing.
like you, a lot of our Muppet friends and family out there have been very supportive and
Yeah.
nice to us at the station and the work there. I got no words for that, honestly.
Just super grateful.
Really thankful, really humbled, really appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys are seriously the best.
Yeah.
So we should do you a favor and get to these hats.
Yeah, we should probably do that. Ruby is one of our producers, and she has been
Yep.
on me about this. And
Yeah, she's like, it's been 2 weeks, so
ramp it up,
I'm gonna
ramp
be
it up.
here.
You know, that was something I was nervous about going to the awards, because
Mm-hmm.
I've never done this before. I didn't know if we had to go up and say anything. Turns out we just went up there and
Yeah.
grabbed the award. But I was working in my head like, well, what do you say, what do you do, and you don't wanna take too long and all
Right,
that.
yeah, get the piano music.
I think I discovered a hack.
Ooh,
Nowadays,
an award show.
to the we got a lot of celebrities to watch our show.
Yeah.
I don't know
Jason Segel, at least.
I don't know who this is to actually, but anybody out there that wins awards, and
Yeah, we're talking to
especially
you.
the big awards and everything. If I'm winning an Oscar or a Grammy, something like that, I'm going up there, and yeah, I'm thanking my mom and dad or something like my significant
yeah.
other or something, the people that I work with. I'm in and out, and hey, I'll see you on social media. Everybody else, I'm thanking on social media.
Oh, there
You
you,
can
go.
do. I mean, nowadays
Yeah.
you couldn't do that in the '60s and '70s or
Nope, you had
'80s and
to memorize that.
you had to get
voice.
all in, and
Yeah.
you know the band's playing you off and everything.
Right.
Why not just get it moving real quick and like, hey, there's a lot of people to thank. I'll see you on my social, you know, and throw your
and then
Insta
you
out there,
also
your
shout
Twitter
it
or
out,
whatever and
yeah.
everything.
Well, Look at you go.
I think that's a pretty good hack.
Yeah,
Like that's
I
the way
agree.
I'd do it.
Yeah.
I want to think boom, 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 and then everybody else, I'll see you on social media.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
I
you
like
thank them
that.
there and stuff.
There you go,
That way
yeah.
you're not clogging the show up and stuff.
Right,
I
yeah.
think that's a good way to do it. That's
I like that too.
it says the guy who's won 2 awards in 50 years. Like,
Oh, please. When did Morgan Freeman start, like, his career?
it's
Like,
true.
he was
It's very
older.
true. It's
Yeah,
very true.
so don't cut yourself too short.
on with the show.
On with the show. You can catch us on social media to see the rest of the show. Just kidding. I think I pulled first.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think so. Did you
Pretty
check
sure.
before it?
No, I didn't, but I was thinking
I
about it
feel
on the
like
way
I
here.
pulled Robin.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, you
I
did.
think.
Yeah,
Okay.
you pulled Robin.
Someone will yell at us.
That I did just watch. That I was watching that I think yesterday or the day
Yeah.
before.
Oh, little Robin.
No,
Little
Robin was fun. Robin over here in the green room.
Yeah. Oh man, it's been so long.
Sweetums, are we still? Ooh, it is still close. All right, let's see if we
Ooh.
get neck and neck here. We get tied up.
It's a tie.
It's a tie.
It's a tie. If our message is anything, it's a positive approach to life. That life is basically good. People are basically good. Jim Henson.
Mhm.
I like that a lot. That people are basically good. Just that, like, there's those moments where you, like, less is more.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jim is really good at that.
Oh, so good at
Just
it.
putting so much optimism and hope and, like, oddly enough, like, realism, too, like,
Yeah.
into such a short amount of words.
It's a tough thing to try to be a realist and be a dreamer at the same time, or to be hopeful and have faith when you're such a realist. I know a little something about this, and for him, I don't know if he was a realist, a dreamer. I don't know any of those things about him or anything. But the way he's always come across, he has to me always come across as a realist, and with a dreamer soul, or dreamer, you know, hopes or faith or belief or however you want to put it. I appreciate that he's able to do that. You know, it's not only inspirational, but it's something that I go for. I reach for and everything. That's a good version of it. That quote. I think he's right.
Yeah,
I think that's
so too.
like reading between the lines of it.
Mhm.
I think you can take the most evil people, the darkest people and everything, and they still have some kindness in them somewhere. Maybe it's to an inanimate object, maybe it's to one person in the whole world, or maybe it's to one certain thing, but even a narcissist or an egotist or something like that, everybody has some human element to them, I believe.
That's a good way to put it, a human element.
And I'm taking the most extreme circumstances and
Yeah.
everything, but I do think that we all have that in us. And the thing that, especially in the times we've been in the last 10, you know, the divisiveness and all that, I think and this might be one little bit of hope I have in me, I think that you have to go through a lot of storm to get to the sunny skies and everything. It's never brighter than after a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
I think we're going through that, or maybe we're at the tail end of that, and getting to a place where the numbers speak for themselves. You hear from people more and more. We are pushing back on that divisiveness now. We're pushing back on the names and the personalities and the politicians that really don't have a leg to stand on but that. Like, that's all they got. Like, they tell you a lot about themselves when all they can do is talk about the other person, or just, you know, swear and rip people apart and all that stuff and everything. That's something a child can do.
Right.
Not a grown adult. They tell you a lot with those actions.
Yeah.
Even those people, I believe, have some humanity to them. And I think that generally, people in general are going away from that more and more towards the good.
Yeah.
Some version of it, at least.
Yeah, I sincerely hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reading this quote, like, obviously it's kind of at the forefront of my mind because we just got back from our trip and everything, but even with a language barrier sometimes, there was still those, like, reflecting smiles and reading facial expressions. And whenever I asked a question to somebody, they were always so ready to answer my question or to at least just say hi or something like that. So that really resonated with me, that no matter where you are, like, there's good in people.
Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, what a nice little sweet quote
That
to
is a good
start
one.
out.
Good way to start the show.
Oh, before you came, I was like, I wonder how many episodes we have left of season 1. Season 1. And including the episode that we're going to do with the Muppet stories, I think there's 6 left, including this one.
Whoa.
I know.
Whoa.
I know. I was like, whoa, I'm better getting geared.
Oh, I no longer, I take back my apology about how we started this show and how long it took and everything. I want to stretch this out. I want to drag this out.
Right,
I want to drag out every episode. Oh, good luck. Good luck, everybody. I want to speed it up or something. I'm kidding. I'm
listen
joking,
at 15.
we greatly appreciate you listening.
Yes.
Gosh, I didn't think of that.
I know, it's
Wow,
crazy.
That hit hard.
That's so crazy. I know.
Yeah.
But we've gotten some nice messages about people being excited for season 2, so we'll talk and then we'll let you guys know what we were thinking for season 2, see what you think of it.
I think it'd be a great idea to include them in some of the decision. I think that, you and I will make the final decision, of course, but we'd love to hear your ideas. And we also have the option, or the idea of maybe going back on 1 or 2 Muppets.
Yeah.
That we, hey, I thought of this later about Kermit or something. And so maybe we might do a little of that too, but we'll see.
Yeah, totally.
Well, I got on with the show. Gotta keep moving. Gotta keep moving. Yeah.
Moving right along.
All right. Here we go. 6. Dang. Wow.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Who do we got here? Who do we got? And it is The Muppets 2011. Ooh.
I had a feeling we were going to pull that this episode. I really did.
Oh, really? This episode? I thought it'd be the next 2 or 3. I thought it was coming up, though. Yeah.
I had a feeling. I don't know why. I just had a feeling it was coming this episode.
I've been really excited about this.
Me too.
It's, we watched it recently and stuff, and that was fun. We clearly haven't gotten a chance to do a lot of that, watching movies together. And I think that was the first one, or no.
Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm gonna say yeah.
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 And what a cool,
Oh, what a nice first movie.
yeah.
Very sweet.
I loved it. I really
adore
enjoyed
this
it.
movie.
I hadn't watched a Muppet movie in a while. When we first started doing the idea of this, I kind of tried to refresh myself with some Muppet movies, and because I have no time, I went back and watched a lot of like scenes from different movies, that I had already seen, endlessly as a kid or what have you. But I hadn't done anything in a while, so watching that movie was really my first getting back in that universe, and other than a little bit snippets here and there. And I didn't realize until reading comments from people and talking to some other people about the movie, I wasn't alone. There was a lot of people that had been away from the Muppets for a long time, have kids. They released the Muppet movie and take the kids to the Muppets, and stuff, and they got kind of reintroduced to the Muppet movies. We got introduced to a new character through that movie too.
Walter!
Great Walter, who
I love Walter.
I don't know if I've heard one person say anything bad about Walter.
I've heard of me.
I think we've heard something.
I don't know why. I mean, respect to everybody's opinions. I love Walter. He's just such a fun little Muppet, and he has that moral compass that Kermit has, but he has the kind of goofiness that the other Muppets have. I think it's nice to have another Muppet in there that has that little moral compass, so it doesn't always fall on Kermit, because Kermit can be, we love him, can be indecisive, so it's nice to have another compass there.
I think that he's also one of the few Muppets that it looks human-like.
Yeah.
You know, see him,
Very
Scooter.
humanoid, yeah.
You know, and they don't do a lot of that,
Mhm.
and which has always been a little. Well, as a little kid, was confusing to me a little bit because they had
Yeah.
real humans and then they had the Muppet humans,
What
and
is this
it's like, wait a minute.
And it's never explained.
No, and which is perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
I also think it's perfect that him and Jason Segal's character are brothers, and that is never explained either.
Never.
It's just
It
the
shouldn't
Muppety
be.
Muppetness that we love.
It's funny how there is certain aspects that they give you a lot of detail on, and they give you some really good backstory and everything.
Yeah.
And then there's other stuff that should be left up to your imagination. I mean, that's a huge part of what the Muppets are all about.
Yeah, really
Not
is.
only using your imagination as kids, but to continue to use it as adults.
Yeah, it's very encouraging, and the storylines and the songs, the quotes, everything. It's just embedded with that.
It's been a while since we've done a movie, but I know that
No.
changes things up a little bit of how we do the hats and stuff.
Yeah, I think now we just talk about the movie in general, the cast, what we enjoyed about it, songs.
I definitely want to get to the cameos.
Yeah.
Definitely that.
It has a great cast. Of course, our friend of the podcast, Jason Segal.
Yeah. Hey Jay. We call it, he calls me
Right.
Jay too. It's kind
I
of the thing
forgot.
we do.
Yeah,
It's
that's your
kind of-
guys' inside
I am so
joke.
sorry, Mr. Siegel. I love your work. Big fan.
And the beautifully talented Amy Adams, who you met,
Yeah,
which I
that would
still
actually.
can't believe.
That would I. I
Every
didn't
time-
think of that one.
Every time Matt and I see Amy Adams now, he goes, yeah, and he met her just to get me riled up again because
That's
I
funny.
can't believe that. She's just so talented and pretty. It's insane.
She is a wonderful human being. I am trying to find okay, so it was directed by James Bowman, I thought so. Actually, it had a pretty nice box office, 165.
Ooh.
With a $45 million budget, it had a 165 box office.
Way to go, Muppets.
So it was part of their, and thank God that it did, because if it bombs, I don't know if you get a lot of the other
We don't get
Muppet
Most
stuff.
Wanted, yeah.
I don't think so.
Or the TV show.
Especially the way it is nowadays, where if you don't turn a profit, it's pretty tough that they're gonna
Yeah.
make anything, as we've seen with the Muppet TV shows.
Yeah, I was
You know,
about
that
to
they
say
just
that.
can't seem to, as soon as they get released, they get canceled, you know, they don't give them a chance.
Yeah,
which
really
is-
sucks.
Yeah, it does. Companies need to do a lot more of that, need to get back to giving things more of a chance. You had Emily Blunt in this, Jim Parsons, Chris Cooper,
Yes.
Rashida Jones,
Yes.
Sarah Silverman, the wonderful Kristen Schaal, who does not get nearly enough credit or used enough, I think. Kristen Schaal's voice is one of my favorite voices of all time,
Yeah.
especially her as a voice actor.
She's
Hers-
just wonderful.
Her as Louise Belcher on Bob's Burgers.
Iconic.
Iconic. As
Yeah.
iconic as the man playing her father, H. John Benjamin, my
Yes.
favorite voice actor
Yeah.
of all time, by far and away. The way I feel about Rob
It's just
Williams
so fair.
is the way I feel about H. John Benjamin. Like that's as a voice actor, like he's that
Really.
good. A lot of nice.
Jack
Selena,
Black.
Jack Black, Donald Glover, Selena Gomez, Alan Arkin, Zach Galifianakis.
It's
Huge.
just insane.
Oh,
the
Bill
amount of
Cobbs.
talent.
I forgot about Bill Cobbs was in it. Yeah, love Bill Cobbs. Ken Jeong, gotta get
Oh
him in
yeah,
there.
yeah. The
So-
punch teacher bit.
I wanted to, certainly, one of the things I think that has become a big part of the Muppet movies, and even from going back to the TV show, is the cameos and the celebrities coming by, getting to see some of your favorite people in such a different world and a different thing.
Yeah.
I loved when, at any time, when a celebrity would be in a movie and they'd be playing a character. And like, I think Ray Liotta's a good example. Ray Liotta.
I love how he's sprinkled in so many Muppets.
Yeah, and Ray Liotta's a solid actor.
Yeah.
In the Muppet movies, it feels like he's just playing it very loose.
Mhm.
And he's not, I mean, I'm not saying that he wasn't giving his all or
Right, but
anything
he's
like
having
that.
like fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I don't know that I've seen a cameo really where they're not doing that too much.
Yeah.
You know, most of them, they seem to be having a great
Mhm.
time, and that's infectious as a
It
viewer.
is.
It gets in, you love to see these people that, like, Alan Arkin's one of the greatest actors I've ever seen in my life. and just seeing him loose, and just seeing him have fun and everything. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
You never get to see people like doing these things. There's certain celebrities or certain people that it feels like we never get to see them smile. So when you do see them smile, like when
It's
they're
a
winning
treat.
an award or something, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's with the Muppet movies.
Definitely.
The plot is a very different, I think, than
Yeah.
most Muppet movie plots.
Yeah, because it kind of centered around obviously it centers around the Muppets, but it centered around like Walter and Gary's like brotherhood, and mostly Walter not fitting in with like his daily life and where he grew up because he's a Muppet and he wanted to be with the Muppets, and then the whole evil oil baron.
Yes.
Evil.
Great. Chris Cooper, man. Great actor.
Yeah.
So the writers credited for this, Jason Segel, Nicholas Stoller, and Jim Henson. Interesting.
Oh, maybe there were like leftover notes or something.
I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if that's just on IMDb. I don't know if that's the official, if he was official.
Or maybe it's like
but
credit because he
It could be.
originated the characters.
either, and I could see that too. It really, I thought that he had written this one, Jason Segel, and
Yeah, I think we had a very early on fact about that. Yeah.
so he, if I'm getting the timing of this all right, How I Met Your Mother really puts him on the map and
Yeah.
everything, and Forgetting Sarah Marshall and stuff. His star is at a really good place, and it's such a difficult place as an actor, and also an exciting place as an actor or
Yeah.
performer, creative or anything, because you want to make the most of this moment. You are finally in the moment. You know, this is what you've been waiting for. But you got to be really smart and strategic about the things you do.
Right. Where are you pivoting from there?
I think it was the last episode I was talking about, you win an Oscar, what are you gonna do next? It's never more important as an actor, that next role. It may be the biggest decision you make in your career, and
Right. Yeah. Because everyone's waiting. What is he gonna do next?
sometimes you're filming a movie at the time when you win an award, and that happened to Jamie Foxx with the movie Stealth and stuff, and that bombed, and that didn't do well, and that.
Yeah.
Coming out of Ray is that kind of, and you hope to keep the momentum, but it can do
Yeah.
that. To take a chance to be like, I want to do a Muppet movie, and I'm not just going to act in it, which anybody could do, or cameo in it, which anybody could do. You got to really love the Muppets to sit back and write a Muppet
and
movie.
to like resurrect them too, because there hadn't been a movie for a long time.
To sell it to producers, to sell it to people. He's doing well, and I mentioned those things, but it isn't as if he's, that like an A plus list star or something like that. So credit to him for writing it, getting it, like selling it to producers and everything, and getting it out there.
Jason.
Yeah, because I don't know how much a lot of this stuff happens without him doing that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know if this was something he was hired to do, or this was something he sought out.
I think he sought it out.
I believe I heard him say in interviews that he did. I didn't want to go for word for it, but I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
But either way, credit to him on that.
Yeah.
That's a passion, like, two people getting together and deciding out of nowhere to do a podcast on Muppets just for the heck of it. Very weird. Very. I couldn't imagine somebody doing that.
If you ever come across that, run.
Run. Whatever direction they're in, go the opposite.
Walk for 3 hours and don't look back.
Be tempted to pounce on the person. It's a fun movie.
I love this movie. So when this movie came out, I was in high school, I think, and I had my little iPod and my iTunes account, but I only got to like put money in when I got a gift card for birthday or whatever. So this was the first album I bought.
Wow.
Because I loved the music in here so much, and I needed to listen to Man or Muppet on the bus on the way to school whenever possible, so I needed to buy that. But this movie, it really meant a lot to me, because there hadn't been like new Muppet stuff in a long time, and it was just so exciting. I remember getting the DVD it was my birthday or Christmas or something, and just being super psyched about that, and just the whole movie is just chock full of Muppetiness, and I think they did a beautiful job bringing it back.
I apologize. I'm stuck with you in high school, imagining that and everything. It's so great. It's so great.
Whatever you're picturing is probably right.
We have so many things in common.
Yeah.
I never met anybody I have more things in common with and everything.
It's bizarre.
It really is, and I love it. But
Yeah.
every once in a while, there's something where we're quite opposite on. Your first CD you bought, my first things I bought like that, music-wise.
First album on iTunes. My first CD
Oh.
is different.
What was your first CD?
The first CD I bought was the Essentials of Billy Joel collection.
Nice.
Thank
Oh, that's
you.
a good one.
Thank you.
I bought two at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, but Paul's Boutique from Beastie Boys and Fear of a Black Planet from Public Enemy. so
Whoa,
very,
look at
very
you.
on this side of things. You were a little over here. I like that. I like
covered
that.
it all.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
I like it.
The songs.
Yeah.
Want to touch on the songs?
Oh yeah.
Speaking of course, the soundtrack and
From
everything.
start to finish, I love all the songs. I love a reprise. They did a great reprise, and Amy Adams has a beautiful voice, and
Yeah.
Jason Segel held his own.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
I love when they do songs that get stuck in your head.
Yeah.
And they're very good at that. I like when they do songs that kind of are breaking the fourth wall.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Oh,
first
they do
opening
that so
big number
often.
is so
Yeah.
great, and they do a great job with that in that one.
Yeah, I love when they get on the bus and all of the extras, the townspeople that were dancing, as soon as it takes off, they all fall down. They're like, they're gone, finally.
Oh, I was just
So
trying to,
funny.
that's hilarious. I was
Yeah.
just thinking in my head, I want to make sure to bring up I want to ask you what your favorite scene was. That may have been my favorite part.
Yeah, I remember
I
you
just
laughing
thought it was
a lot
so
during that whole
good. It
song.
was
Yeah.
so good.
It was really good. I just love the movie so much. It's so good. Favorite part? Oh, that's hard. I love Jack Black, so I love that he was like a big part of the movie, and that when they, when him and Animal are in their anger management retreat, and I love that part.
That was easily top 3 favorite
Yeah.
parts for me. The anger management thing alone. Jack Black being an anger management, counselor
Yeah.
is fantastic.
He's so serious during the whole movie.
I think people like I've been seeing him since his early days with Kevin Smith. So I've been watching him. He was on actually Mr. Show, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, sketch comedy show. And he had a couple bits on there and stuff. So I feel like I've seen him half my life.
Wow.
So if you've watched it, and you can tell, he's a full actor. Like he can do the
Yeah.
whole gamut of work.
Big scope.
But he doesn't get a chance to very often. You have the talent of Jack Black in a Muppet movie.
Yeah.
And no, instead of going this direction, which would be so easy, they go that direction,
Yeah.
casting wise, perfectly done.
I'm
Like,
sure
I
he
thought that was
loved
great.
it too.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah,
read
he-
the script. He was like, "Oh, this is gold. I can't wait."
Another one of those moments where it seemed like, this man is enjoying this.
Yeah.
This man is, you didn't have to pay him for this.
No.
Like he done this pro bono. He enjoyed it.
Especially when they have him like held hostage on the stage during the show, and everyone thinks that it's like part of the show. It's super funny.
I get a little bored and tired with movies and TV shows. The boy meets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl back.
Yeah.
You know, the same blueprint we've been doing since the 20s and
Mhm.
everything. But I also understand that that's kind of storytelling, and that's
People
kind of how
relate
things
to
go
it.
sometimes.
Yeah.
There was a little of that in this movie, and it was the human story. It was Amy and Jason's
Yeah.
characters and everything.
Gary and Mary.
Great job. And that's not something I usually pay a lot of attention to or really care much about. And especially in a Muppet movie where I'm all focused on the Muppets.
Right. Yeah.
I thought they did a masterful job and a perfect job of seaming that into the story.
Yeah.
Seaming along with the human and Muppets worlds intertwining with the Gary and their being brothers, like you said before, and everything, and that not
Yeah.
really being described, but their dynamic and the idea of losing that and stuff. All of that storyline, like, just went in perfectly with the movie.
It really
I thought.
did. Yeah.
It really was written well. I don't know what an expert would tell you or what a lot of people would say, but to me, storyline, trying to tell a story, I thought they did a really good
I
job
think
with
so
that.
too. All of the subplots coexisted and harmonized really well for the entire film.
I really liked, as much as I love our mainstay characters that Bree and I have rambled about quite a bit and talked about how much we love Kermit or Gonzo or something like that. It was really cool to see a movie where the main actors, even the top 3-4 actors, were all kind of like people that you either were just meeting now or had never been introduced or hadn't gotten to see a lot of.
learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I thought that was a brave choice too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
think
would
so too.
Been dormant for a while, you come back with a new Muppet movie, it'd be
Mhm.
pretty easy to just make Kermit and Miss Piggy out there or something.
Right, yeah, and to have the potential of Walter being rejected, because
Yeah.
to introduce a new Muppet, like, that's a risky move, but welcome him with open arms.
Yeah, I definitely give this to, yes!
You're good at imitating it. I think my favorite song besides, it's hard to say favorite song,
yeah.
oh man.
I wasn't gonna,
I can't say
I was
favorite
not
song,
gonna
never
ask you
mind.
because I couldn't do it to you. I was like,
can't
oh,
do it.
I thought of it for a second, I'm like, no, I don't wanna do that to her.
Yeah, I reject it too. I take it back. But a moment I really like in the movie is when Mary, Gary, and Walter are at Kermit's house, and Kermit sings that "Pictures in My Head" song, and he's going around to all the pictures. Oh, it gets me every time.
Favorite moment,
Yes.
and my favorite moment.
And I love after that, like, a big monologue of, like, they're not getting back together. Mary says this is going to be a very short movie.
Yeah.
It's a great line.
This is good. That's part of the reason why I like the scene.
Yeah.
It's again breaking the fourth
Mhm.
wall, and but it's the moment. I felt like that was for the people like Jason
Yeah.
Segel, people
Mhm.
like us, people that grew up with it and everything. And
Who missed it?
yeah, and kind of not only a tip of the hat, but also a hey, we remember. We haven't forgotten our roots.
I
You know,
like
we're,
that, yeah.
it was a really cool moment. I was not expecting to get
Mhm.
emotional about, and I did.
Oh, just wait until Muppets Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a song in there. Woo! Gets me every time.
Next movie. Next movie. Next movie night.
There's like so much about this movie that it's hard to like think of it all off the top of our heads and everything. So if there's favorite parts you guys have, please send a message about it or comment when we always post, you know, our little title of the episode or pictures and stuff. Comment and let us know like what your favorite parts were, or I don't know, if you made your own Muppet movie, what would it be?
Yeah. We've had that one out there, flirted a couple times, and I love the idea of it. I really like the idea of you guys leaving comments and feedback.
I love it.
I mean, that's it. If you were in the room with us, you'd be talking. We'd want to know what
exactly,
you
yeah.
have to say and want to hear from you too. So
Mhm.
please, you're a big part of the show. We'd
Yeah.
love to hear from you on it.
Yeah, please do.
Thank you to all the people behind the scenes and all the great puppeteers and you know,
yeah.
everybody that works so hard on these movies.
Would it be possible without them?
Yeah, really do appreciate all that work and appreciate all of you and
Yeah.
enjoying this with us.
Thank you guys. You guys are the best.
This was
It's
fun.
good to be back.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
good to be back. Very good to be in the swing of things again. We got another one where we're gonna record, so we're looking forward to
Yes.
that. That's gonna be fun. But whether it is Monday or any other day, we appreciate you
Aw.
joining us every week and helping us find the rainbow connection.
That was very Mr. Rogers-esque of you,
It was a
and
little,
I
I'm gonna take my
enjoyed
shoes
it.
off now. I got to put mine.
Where's your cardigan?
Yeah, oh, I forgot my cardigan.
Oh no, so we gotta go find his cardigan, so
Yeah.
we'll catch you guys later.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Where did I put